It is now official, 70 billion CRO tokens have been newly minted, but at the same time, also another 50 million CRO burn is on the horizon. What is Cronos doing? Well guys, I would say let's strap in and let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only Coin Baron, and today we potentially started a new golden age for Cronos with here the new upgrade to Cronos POS v5. And that upgrade is very controversial because it did include the new golden age proposal. And it is not controversial because it tries to onboard billions of users or tries to invest into the US. No, it is controversial because of this here. It is here, now on chain, 70 billion Cronos tokens have been newly minted on the Cronos POS chain. And you need to have a bit of history to really understand this. When Cronos started back in 2019, founded by Crypto.com, there was an initial supply of 100 billion tokens, like also, for example, XRP has. But then in 2021, when they launched the Cronos POS chain and launched the Cronos EVM chain, they did burn 70 billion tokens. And with this proposal, they reinstated those 70 billion tokens. So right now, guys, we're back to those max supply of 100 billion tokens. But I think the biggest question that I had personally when we first got this proposal was about this here, the 5-year lockup. So did that mean it would start in 2020-30 or right away, because it does mention also here linear vesting. And right now, because it is on block, we can see it on chain, we have a lot more information about this new CRO mint, because as you can see, right now it is not all fully available on the market. No, not at all. Currently, we still have 27 billion of supply. However, if you scroll down, we can see the vesting mechanism. So now we know there's a periodic vesting. So every month, there will be 1.16 billion CRO added to the circulating supply. So you can see here, it will start actually quite soon, in about a month's time, on April 17th, in about 29 days. And then in May, it will continue. In June, it will continue. It will continue until 2030, when we hit that 100 bill max supply. And I think Khan made a really beautiful chart here that really projects how it's going to grow. So in December, we'll have about 39 billion CRO. Then in 2026, 53. In 2027, 68. Then in 2028, 83. And finally, 100 billion in February 2030, give or take. But he does also mention something very important here. Those burn scenarios are not included into this projection. And we're going to talk a bit more about burning, because that's also still a very important element, as we have to talk about what is really circulating supply. We can now objectively say that near the end of 2025, around 39 billion tokens will be in circulation. So an additional 11 billion. And I don't want to go too much in the future, because as you can see with this proposal, everything can still change. But I want to talk about this cycle, because I think for the most of you, that's the most important part, because you might want to sell, of course, with some big profit. So is $1 still actually possible? I think that's a question on many people's mind. But I want to talk about, I think, the elephant in the room. What's going to happen with those 11 billion tokens in this year, right? Because that's what we do not know. The only thing we objectively know is that those tokens will be added to the Cronos strategic supply. What they will do with those tokens, nobody knows. They can burn the tokens, they can hold on to the tokens, or they can sell the tokens. And a lot of people are, I think, already assuming that latter part. However, an actual order to, for example, form those ETFs they've been talking about, that is not necessarily needed. So a lot of potential scenarios, but only thing we can do right now is speculate. For fun and giggles though, let's say the worst is going to happen. All those 11 billion tokens are going to hit the market in some way or form. Don't think that's the most likely outcome, but let's actually assume it is here. And also, let's assume we have a typical bull market where in Q3, Q4, we're going to have a great, nice bull run also for both Bitcoin. And Bitcoin today is having quite a rough day, but also really, I would say, an altcoin season that we also experienced back in 2021 and back in 2017 here. Let's assume those two are going to happen. And also, guys, Cronos and Crypto.com have quite nice roadmap. So let's assume it typically would go back to that here. I would say the beginning here of the rat band, which is nicely at about $1. However, this time around, we have about 33% additional supply. We went from about 26 billion previous bull cycle to then about 39. In that case, we can deduct, of course, a bit. We can deduct a bit here. And then I would say worst case scenario is a bull run would peak at about 66 cents. 66 cents for CRO. So anyone that's right now talking about CRO dying because, well, we printed a bit more supply, of course it's bearish. Of course it's dilution. You can talk about it, but it's not going to mean the complete potential for the token is gone, right? I mean, still, if we're talking about going to 66 cents, we're still talking about, what is it? A 700% increase in your token valuation. So I would say even in the worst case scenario that everything is going to be sold, it can still have a great outcome for the CRO token because in the end, guys, Crypto.com is still a relevant platform, and also Cronos has a great roadmap ahead of itself. So let's talk about the roadmap, and let's talk also about the potential for burns, because that might actually be the bull case for Cronos in this upcoming future. Assuming Cronos is going to complete their roadmap in Q4, they will introduce a new token burn based on price and block size. And that will not be the only burn for the CRO token. So what we can see as well if we go to their roadmap is that this is going to be the new one, the quarterly burn formula based on price and block size. So somewhat similar to what we do see with, for example, the Binance Smart Chain. But then also they do have the periodic community pool burn. And let's talk a bit about that one as well, because that's, of course, the latest vote that we do see for Cronos. So here we can see Cronos has another 50 million CRO burn on the horizon. And that's the typical burn from the community pool. A 50 million CRO burn proposal has been submitted on the Cronos POS chain. If passed, another 50 million CRO will go up in flames. I do have to say the timing of this proposal is pretty weird after just minting another 70 billion tokens. But in all honesty, it was planned for a long time and it was also due for a long time already. But also, I think the replies below this post are pretty funny. For example, here, Crypto Warehouse, and give him a follow if you haven't done so. Burn 50 million CRO, yeah, let's go. And mint 70 billion CRO. Not only that, also I think this one from Black Sea is pretty funny. So a 70 billion increase minus 50 million, that's about 950 billion more CRO coins added to the supply. Yeah, I think this was honestly bad timing from the Twitter intern here running the Cronos account, but okay. Again, guys, it was due for a long time, as you can actually follow the burn on the Cronos POS chain Explorer. Anyways, that burn we just talked about is not going to have any effect whatsoever on the price. I think, though, you have to see it in the bigger picture of what they want to do with burns in the future, so especially with that quarterly burn, where they want to burn more and more CRO. So definitely, guys, make sure if you think about that 70 billion mint, think also about the potential burns in the future, because I think the more tokens you have, also the more we can burn. But that's, again, a lot of speculation. I have to say, to close out this video, guys, that I'm still pretty chill over here. I've been through a lot with Crypto.com. I've had the card slashing, I had the MCO swap. I have seen so many bad things. Also the FUD with FTX. We've been through so much. And this is not the end for CRO. This is not the end for Cronos Chain. This is not the end for Crypto.com at all. I think if you were bullish about the roadmap 5 months ago, you should still be bullish right now, because in the end, even in the worst case that they're going to increase supply, it is just increased supply, right? It is just increased supply. The most important factor is and will always be demand. Is and will always be demand. Also, just to give you a quick example, Ethereum has no max supply. In theory, Ethereum can inflate all the way to the moon. And XRP is also still every day minting more and more tokens. The only thing which I can agree with is that trust is pretty much gone, but I try to restore that with my proposal. And if you want to learn more about that proposal, definitely check out the previous video from yesterday. But again, guys, as I want to talk about in this video, check out the video to learn more about the proposal and let me know in the comments what you think about it. Anyways, that's me. I'm the Coin Baron. See you soon.